Good morning, Story Trading VIPs. Welcome to the pre-market prep show. We actually don't have a lot going on this morning. Quiet morning, which could be good because quiet morning, stable markets means it's good for stock picking, especially swing trading. But you can see right there at the top, SPY QQQ, pretty stable. Let's review those and see if we're changing any of our opinions. Drop below the 20 DMA. It looks like it's trying to find support here. You see this little congestion zone in early June, and then we got it again in early August. I guess it's trying to find support at that level, but you still got to figure there's some elevated risks that we could move down to the next major moving average at 396,400. You see a little gap there. I talked about this yesterday at like 405 or so. So all that is on the table, but doesn't necessarily have to happen. So that's why I don't go all out or all in. I do have an increased cash position, but actually I put some of that cash to work yesterday in Celsius. We'll get to that in just a second. So stable markets. I do want to point out a great trade entry by someone in the room, REL, who is proven to be a trader with a good instinct. I wrote BBBY off because Ryan Cohen's no longer in it. Ryan Cohen is what gave it meme status. That doesn't mean there's not trades left in it. Obviously, you can get oversold, overbought. Things can still happen. In this case, after Ryan Cohen left, there's also fear of bankruptcy. Well, this morning, they secured a loan. I don't know the details of that loan. I saw the headline go by. I think they also mentioned on Bloomberg Radio on my way to work. So they got a loan, which takes some immediate bankruptcy risk off of the table. So Ariel got into this yesterday near the end of the day at I guess probably around here, right? 878 or so. And you can see it's up 30%. So congrats to him. Not a trade that I took or was interested in, but that worked out really well with that news catalyst this morning. So, hey, look, I don't know. Could it go? Here's your resistance levels, by the way. 1255, the top of this candle, and then the 200 DMA, 1387. Personally, if I was in it, 29%, I'd sell it right now. Okay, so other thing I want to mention is Nordstrom had earnings. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm just throwing it up there because if you remember, there was a time period where we're all sensitive about, I forgot which retail company it was. Was it Bed Bath & Beyond? No, it wasn't Bed Bath & Beyond. I forgot which ones they were. Target, Walmart, there was another one, big retail. But this is not as big as the other ones. It's conflicting with things you see at Dick's, which is a beat and raise. So Nordstrom missed. You can see it's down for 15%. And also the context is important, right? The context of where we were in that market, what the other, the sentiment, the catalysts were around interest rates and all that kind of stuff. Remember when we called the bottom down here? To me, this is a non-event. So I don't think we have to worry about that and say, oh, they missed, bad for the economy. And remember, the problem with inflation is more margin compression, pressure on earnings rather than overall spend, right? GDP is going to be very hard to go down and have a recession when you have inflation. You can see money moving to different places. You can see people spending more on, food and necessities than they spend on consumer discretionary, right? But in any case, a lot of these retailers are increasing because of inflation. Their top line's going up. So I don't know much about Nordstrom, but I'm guessing it's a company-specific issue over there. I just want to point out Occidental Petroleum because, man, we noted it. I threw it out there for those who wanted to take it, but I personally missed it. And the reason I want to mention this is, I said in the room, a lot of these great trades, we've had a lot of them, and we're going to go through them here in a second. Clearfield, Celsius, Air, PLAB, RELL, SIGA, right? A lot of these are the more obvious plays, right? And Oxy was very obvious, right? We all know. And then you have Warren Buffett keeps on buying shares. And one of the things I want to kind of take our community from story trading and kind of diversify how we think about trading a little bit, because a lot of people in our core initial community were into microcaps with the ideology that microcaps are where the opportunity is, because microcaps are inefficient pricing. People don't know about it. So if I do my research and I find a stock that's cheap, that's how I'm going to make money from that arbitrage, and people are going to become aware of my story. I really don't believe that. You guys know my philosophy on efficient markets. I believe microcaps are also priced efficiently, and there seem to be much better opportunities in larger cap companies in more obvious plays. Just because a play is obvious and everyone knows about it doesn't mean it's not gonna do well. And Oxy is one of them. Celsius is another one. Celsius, after the Pepsi, this has been on our radar for a while. We had a presentation on this with Jonah Lupton and Mark Gomes that's up on our YouTube. So we marked that as a VIP pick on our spreadsheet way back, I don't know, in the 60s or something. But here's another one, right? It gapped up here from a close of 89 to open of 96, right? And on the Pepsi deal. Well, guess what? It still had a lot of room, and it still does. And I bought it. I had it. Did I buy it? I don't know. I've had it continuously, except Friday. Last Friday, I lost some to covered calls. So I got back in yesterday. I made good money on it. So all right. So I had to buy a little higher. Things happen. But anyway, look at this huge cup. But my point is that this Pepsi deal, it's the obvious play, right? That's the obvious deal. You don't have to sit there, I don't think, from my perspective, and run the numbers and say, okay, well, now everyone knows about it, and now it's fairly valued, and there's no opportunity. It's a big cap. I don't believe that's true. The most obvious plays sometimes are the best plays, the easiest ways to make money. The sentiment for Celsius is very, very high. I think I found out the catalyst for yesterday breaking this cup to a new 52-week high to 110, and the sentiment was high, and it was valid to have a high sentiment, because now you're hearing stories. It was on Bloomberg in my car. I don't know. There must be an article on it somewhere. It didn't hit my news feed, but there was some analyst. They're talking about an analyst that said that Pepsi has aspirations to go into the international market for energy drinks. They said something like a $55 billion international market, and they're going to do that through Celsius, right? So perhaps that was a catalyst. No major news stories on it. It's probably out there somewhere again. But it broke the cup, broke 110 resistance. And I've been saying for a long time, if you've been listening to my morning show, I've been saying that this is really strong support at $93, because that was the low of the day after the Pepsi deal was announced. And you had multiple opportunities to pick it up right around $93, 95, ended up being to 93 to 95, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. It touched that 93 to 95 support area. And I was telling you that because of that strong support and the strong sentiment, this thing is going to break the 52-week high in the near term. Guys who watch the show every morning, you know that. I've been saying that. So, and I said, when it breaks that 52-week high, 110, my target is going to be about 120 plus. So we broke it. I'm sticking with that. Rex is saying the target could be 140 on this in a matter of days. So I'll take it if it happens. I don't know, but I went back into some common shares, also got some call options. I thought I misspoke or I misbought. I thought I was buying the $70 call options for next month, but I looked back and I don't know if it was a typo or what, but I ended up buying the 80 call options. So anyhow, I'm back in this, had to buy it back a little bit higher. That's fine. I was upset about it when I sold it. I told you guys, I'm like, I want to get back in on Monday. I didn't get back in. I was on vacation Friday, and I think that had something to do with it, that I didn't want to be sitting there trading and reloading on the call options for next week. I'm like, let me get back to the office, see how things go Monday, but I failed to do it Monday too, so go figure. Anyway, had to buy it Tuesday when it started breaking out. 107 is when I noticed that strong move, and I got back in. All right. Let's see what else we got. All right. I just want to point out there's not a lot of news this morning. We'll get to a couple news items on those like small cap trades we like to do sometimes, but I do want to review. These are the top stocks because I did get some feedback from the community. Hey, like, I don't know what's going on with StoryTrading. There's so many stocks I can't keep up. Well, we do have a VIP tracking sheet for things that are officially presented, right? That's been our key to success. Anything that's been officially presented, it obviously goes through a vetting process through me, but also the presenter has to have high conviction. And you also have to touch on our 4 pillars: the sentiment, catalyst, technicals, and fundamentals. So by doing that, we look at these stocks which have been presented to the community. And I've been basically elevating these names more because these particular ones, the top 5, 6 here, are also profitable, which is a big deal in a market like this. What are those names? Clearfield, new 52-week high yesterday. Celsius, new 52-week high yesterday. Air, man, 6-month high, getting close to its 52-week high almost at this point, 18 to 25. PLAB, hit a new 52-week high a couple weeks ago. Earnings are next Tuesday. Today, Wednesday, 4:30 p.m., we have our Zoom chat. It used to be called Happy Hour, then we called it Open Chat. Well, over time, it's evolved to turn into a collaborative research session where people have stock ideas they want to talk about. They want the group to help them. We'll throw on screen share. We'll like research together. Sometimes we'll get a mini quasi-official, unofficial presentation because people want to present to a smaller group that's not recorded. I'm suggesting today, if you have a stock you want to present, great. But the timing is good because earnings are on Tuesday. Today, Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. If no one has a stock they want to present, maybe let's together collaboratively look at PLAB, look at the last earnings report, get an idea of analyst expectations, what to expect on Tuesday, maybe look at technicals because earnings are coming up there, and maybe we get to another 52-week high in one of our top stocks. Then we got RELL presented many, many times. I presented this as a VIP pick, originally presented to our community by Julian. Well, he wasn't presented, but given to our community by Julian. He did present it on one of those happy hours that I'm talking about, the 4:30 p.m. Zoom, where he can unofficially present. So that's where RELL came to us. I still like the stock, still in it. I think it's still poised to break out to a new 52-week high along with the rest of these. SIGA, here's one I didn't officially present, but I've talked about it a lot. We've done it on the Wednesday Zooms. I love, obviously, the sentiment. You guys know the sentiment, the headlines, the catalyst of monkeypox, but the fundamentals are great here too. So that's great. So I've been in and out of SIGA. I wrote it up nicely from like 15 to the 20s. I got back in via short puts recently. I guess I'm down on that at this point, but I think my average buy price, I have to go check. It's somewhere like around 1850 or something. So hopefully that'll work out. But I'm watching this. This is now on my watch list for a stronger reentry because we broke the 20 DMA. So now we can maybe start getting opportunities. I would say the next possible support levels, psychological level at 20. And I see a lot of support here, 18. Obviously, I have the 50 DMA over at 17. So I think 17 to 20 is possible. Might not happen because the fundamentals are strong. Might not happen because, the headlines are good. But I'm leaning towards it could happen because yesterday we had news come out, which if you listen to the conference call about SIGA, you knew that this was happening, but there was no press release on it. And this press release is researchers behind COVID-19 recovery trial launch new monkeypox treatment trial. And if you go read it, this is a summary of the Benzinga. But if even in here, if you read it or if you look at the press release, you're going to, now the masses realize that, wait a second, this drug isn't officially proven to work, right? It's assumed to work. That's why there's the designation with the FDA, compassionate use or whatever designation they're using so that people can prescribe it off-label. It's assumed to work, but it's not yet proven to work. Many people may not know this. We knew it sitting on the conference call. But now that this is out there and this trial has started, it could depress sentiment, and the stock might not do as well as it's been doing. And in fact, perhaps that's why it broke below the 20 DMA. Now there's some fear factor of traders and investors that, oh my gosh, what if we get bad data out of this report? So that's why I'm leaning towards that we could drop into the $17 to $20 range. So I'm going to be patiently waiting. If I miss it, I miss it. I'm already short some puts, so I have some exposure to the upside. So we'll see how that goes. All right, that was SIGA. BCRX, another one that's been presented as a VIP pick. We've had multiple presentations and updates on it. I currently don't have a position. Maybe I should. We have a 20 to 200 DMA cross. Zach has been great with this, giving us updates on this stock. And one of those, another VIP pick, doing great in our community. I'm not sure if they're profitable yet, though, but I think they're getting in the right direction. All right. Then we get to some other VIP picks that have not been doing as great. Smaller cap names. VTSI has been kind of stagnant. We had an update yesterday from Kevin Crawford. You can go look at our video on that to get his opinion on the earnings report that came out last week. So that's VTSI. Look, finding support here at the 20 DMA. I was hoping for a move to the 200 DMA, 580. Not sure we're going to get it anymore. So maybe it's going to find its range in here. 50 DMA possible support. So it looks like it's going to play right now in the 570 area. A little bit of chop. I'm personally at this point not expecting like a big pop or anything anymore with those three catalysts out of the way, unless we get new news. Now to some VIP picks that have not done as well. Unfortunately, they've been mine. So I've had some good ones and some bad ones. Well, Kodak has been okay if you had good entries. I mean, look, it's held up really magnificently this year for a risk asset, and I actually like it now much more than I did a few months ago because the earnings flipped to profitability. So I'm not sure it's going to go much lower than these two support levels here. This is the 50 DMA here at 550. Have another support 200 DMA at 530. I think it could be good pickups in this range, 530 to 550, unless, of course, we get the next major leg down in the markets and it could go lower. By the way, I didn't talk about, what are we at? Kodak. I'm going to come back to Kodak in a second. Just to recap, what could be the catalyst that can get us to the next major leg lower? Obviously, it could always be a geopolitical surprise. It's I think, though, obviously, macroeconomic data with inflation and interest rates can come out. I don't think we're going to see any surprises with that kind of stuff. In fact, Sanjay shared some articles, which I agree with, about inflation really slowing. Remember, July to June was 0% inflation month over month. Like, come on. That was an important catalyst. Now, it might not repeat because, gas was really depressed July over June. But in any case, what could possibly take this below the 200 DMA? It's got to be, the only thing I can think of is got to be really bad earnings at this point, right? I think this whole period of stability is because the macroeconomics calmed down, the geopolitical stuff calmed down, people accepted all of those dynamics with inflation and interest rates and war and all that, and we're like in a steady state now. All of that is priced in. So how do you get a next leg lower? At this point, it's got to be really bad earnings from the mega caps 2 months from now. And of course, we have the elections coming up, so I'm not so worried. One way or another, the administration, I think, will find a way to make sure the stock market doesn't crash between now and November. So going back to Kodak, right? So why did I jump to that? Because, like, what would take Kodak below the 50 and 200 DMA? Got to be something like that, I think. So possibly some good entries there. DRIO, obviously, big disappointment. This has been my big VIP pick, my largest position. It worked out really, really well for me for a while because I loaded up big time at 4 and change. In the low 4s is when I started pounding the table on this again after avoiding being bullish on it since November. I held it since November. I didn't talk about it much. I didn't present it. Wasn't bullish on it because of the market conditions. I just didn't want to sell my favorite stock that I think is going to do good long term. But then I quadrupled down. I think I quadrupled down. So I was doing well for a while, and the last month, last 2 weeks has not worked out. So, sometimes it doesn't work out. What are we going to do? Now we're waiting for the next catalyst, right? And the next catalyst, hopefully, that national insurer will be named very soon. Regional insurer after that, and potentially Sanofi investing would be a third catalyst. So I'm still holding my position, other than the August calls, which I sold immediately after that bad earnings report. All right, so we're waiting on DRIO. CFVI, another one that I like. This is for maybe some ideological reasons. I like the competition of big tech. I like the free speech approach and the no censorship unless the content is technically illegal, right? So I like what they're doing. They're growing incredibly fast. Man, yesterday, I didn't even know who this Andrew Tate guy was at all, but I see that this guy is like huge. I don't know, like tens of millions of followers around the world or something like that. He was like completely banned from the internet over the last few weeks, Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and Twitter and everywhere. So he opened a Rumble account, it seems like yesterday. So I like that, man. I like it for the stock. Listen, I know it's a SPAC. I know a lot of people say it's overvalued or whatever. And I know that when the ticker symbol changes, it's going to be under immense pressure from traders and the pipe guys put 100 million in, or probably going to sell. And I don't know. There's it's going to be crazy. Might get a $5 or something before it goes up. Who knows? Or maybe it's going to go to 18 when the ticker symbol changes. I don't know. But listen, lots of great catalysts coming out of CFVI. They had their ad center yesterday. They announced that Truth Social is the first platform using their ad center. They're just firing on all cylinders. Take a look at the interview I did with the CEO. You can take a look at that at storytrading.com/rumble. So that's another one of my picks not working out. Here's a pick, GLBE. Had a very small position right at the 200 DMA. This was a VIP presentation presented by Akil. This is one of the growth stocks that got hammered. We made the bottom call perfectly. Capitulation, red to green day. on a wild bad market day, and this reversed on that bad market. I mean, that was a classic bottom signal day for GLBE. But now I don't know how far I can go. At this point, the 200 DMA. Maybe we'll bring Akil back for an updated presentation on GLBE, and then of course we got SMSI, which at right now I'm not so interested in. You know what? Like, it could work out. Yeah, it could go to $6, $7, $8, but I'm getting more tired of microcap companies. I'm having a lot more success with larger companies, but also I have no patience for companies that are going to issue warrants, right? That do bad financings. This is something you see oftentimes in microcaps, and you really don't see in large caps. And it's one of the reasons I love DRIO is because they never do warrants and they always price above market anytime they raise money. SMSI below market pricing with warrants. I'm like, get out of here, man. It could go to 8. Fine. It could go to 10. I hope everyone makes a ton of money on this, but there's a lot of better places, I think, to make money. I may change my mind later when different catalysts come or technicals get better. But for now, I'm happy to not be participating in a company that does financings like that, honestly. All right. Then we got some other stocks that were unofficial picks, right? Stocks we've talked about a lot, stocks we've opened research rooms for, stocks we've had those quasi presentations on our our Zoom events today, Wednesday, 4:30 p.m., our collaborative research sessions. And those are NewScale, SMR, LIAC, LICF, LLKKF. These are all kind of unofficial picks, which would be great to have presentations on it. One of the reasons we haven't done an SMR, it's very hard to have a presentation on fundamentals on this, but it's been doing great. I got a position that I'm not trading. This is like a long-term investment for me. Got in. We brought it to the community at like 1050. We're up almost 50% on that already, and I'm just holding, and we'll see how it goes. So a lot of activity in the SMR research group on this. A lot of interest in the name, and then a couple others. LIACF. I think they had some news this morning. Yeah, American Lithium commences EIA drilling. I don't know the importance of this. Maybe Tony in our room will comment on it. Commencing some drilling. It's a 20 DMA. Is that news enough to bounce off the 20 and head back to the 200? It certainly might be. So hopefully we'll get some commentary from Tony on LICF. And man, did he ever nail Tony. LLKKF. Unbelievable. We had multiple presentations on this in our unofficial events on collaborative sessions, and he was totally right. He totally nailed this about getting in at like 50 cents, 40 cents after that news came out. It's been a double from there. Honestly, personally, I got shaken out because of a short report that came out. So I didn't benefit from this huge move up there, but lots of great ideas being shared in our community from lots of different people. I just want to point out AMC Ape, man, we called this, didn't we? In the trading room, we said, hey, Ape is, from the research I've heard, Ape is supposed to trade around the same price as AMC. So I thought, here's a pair trade for you. Short AMC, long Ape is what I said a couple days ago. That worked out brilliantly yesterday. If you did it, I didn't do it. But hey, you know what? I can't do everything I have ideas on. So hopefully someone ran with that. That worked out amazing yesterday. AMC was like down 8-9%. Ape was like up, I don't know, 20-25%, something like that. We gave that idea out when Ape was $5 over here. It was right here before the pop, actually. Around 3 p.m. we were talking about long Ape, short AMC. So that was cool. Not in it. Oh, I did do something this week. I added, besides Celsius, I bought a little IPI yesterday, right? At around $48. It's 50 and change now. See, I've been trying to play this like a couple times, and it hasn't worked out. Here in the last few weeks, I'm like, all right, let's pop, let's get it, let's make a move. Why? Because their peers were doing so well. Moss, and there's a fertilizer stock, right? Moss and CF, beautiful charts. They broke out of all their key moving average resistance levels. You can look at CF, and these, look at this, all really great charts. And IPI was not. I'm like, it's got to catch up. So I tried a couple times, didn't work out. I decided to go back in again yesterday when it broke the 50 DMA, right? You can see it, beautiful, like the 20. Oh my gosh, I love these lines. So broke above the 50 DMA, and I got, what is it, $48. So I'm going to hold this. Hopefully I can ride this to the 200 DMA at $55. So that's IPI. I think that the reason those are popping is because of the high natural gas prices. So those of you who have been doing that collaborative research with us. I forgot it was Matt or Sanjay who brought that knowledge to us. Or no, it was actually in different panels on Spaces, said the reason you see an association between high natural gas prices and potash stocks doing well, it has to be North American potash stocks, because what happens is the natural gas prices in Europe are higher than the natural gas prices in North America because of the pipeline issues from Russia to Germany and all that. So they have higher natural gas prices. So natural gas is an input into creating fertilizer. So North Americans can produce with lower natural gas prices. They can produce that fertilizer, sell it to internationally at higher prices, and they get better margins. And I think that's why you're seeing the sector doing well right now and reacting well to those higher natural gas prices. Man, we're running out of time. All right, now we get into like the little stocks we like to trade intraday, stuff like that. We have EAR. We're monitoring that. Am I in this or not? I traded it yesterday. I had a really good entry, like 225, 285. Got back in at like 250-ish. I have to check if I'm still in it. So that's EAR. That's something maybe we can talk about today in the Collaborative Research Center as well. Thank you so much again to Tony. Tony's had so many home runs in our community. So good job on that EAR. GOEV, I'm personally stuck in this right now. I'm surprised. I brought this up yesterday. Surprised it did not react better to the news of that Walmart prototype being configured very quickly within a couple weeks. Very surprised on that. So I'm getting that wrong for some reason. So hopefully it's going to maintain this support level here. You can see 319, it bounced off it, 50 DMA. I'm going to wait. It's had so many spikes up to the 4 level, so I'm not going to sell. Give that a little more time. By the way, I did finally sell PET. That was a bad trade. Got out. I minimized my losses by selling at $6.50 and not $4 or $4.50. So anyway, sometimes you have to take your losses on that bad trade. So what else we got? We got SMMT brought to someone in our community. I'm not as excited about this anymore because of the research Sanjay brought to us and the Seeking Alpha article, but it may still have room to 225. I don't think I'm in it anymore. I think I sold it. Yeah, I have to check again, but we made some money on that, and at this point, I'm out, but we'll continue monitoring. WTRH had some news yesterday. You can take a look at. I don't follow it closely. Oh, birds. I took a trade on this yesterday. 52 cents to 59. 52 entry. 59 exit, 7 cents. Huge. Think of it in dollars, $52 to $59. But I did buy back 25% of it at 55 cents. So still making great profit on that trade. This had what seemed to be very big news yesterday, and it's been just clobbered. To me, it's a combination of the stock being down so much and, into the penny stock range. And then you get a catalyst like this. I don't know about the fundamentals of the cash runway. It's a SPAC. They're going to need to raise cash at some point. Not holding this, just a trade for me. Yeah, we'll see. Either I have to take a loss on the 25% I bought back at 55 cents, or I sell it for a pop. Let's look quickly at the technicals here, though. Where can we look at the? Oh man. So really don't have any moving averages showing up. Maybe not enough data yet. I don't know when they're not showing up, but I would say definitely 60 cents. You can see here probably an important level. That's why I sold at 59 cents. All right, we are way over time. Market's about to open. We'll see you at 4:30 p.m. on our collaborative Zoom. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.